Howdy everyone, Armadillo the Violet Wizard here, and we're returning to Sonic Mania, continuing our Sonic and Tails playthrough. Managed to get a lot done in our previous session, and now we find ourselves back into some familiar territory here. Welcome to Oil Ocean Zone, one of the later stages from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. A game that was very dear to me in my childhood, so obviously I would have a lot of memories of this place. Not really the most positive ones, but, you know. I want to be careful here, because there is something good around here that I want to try and get. I don't think... Alright. There's another way we can get to this. But yeah, this is a very interesting area. If you have the fire shield equipped here, you can actually set the oil on fire, making this whole area just very interesting in terms of visuals. But yeah, that was what I was looking for to try to get to that secret ring. I actually discovered that when I was doing practice right before this stream on my Switch version, just so that I know the locations of the Oil Ocean and secret rings, or at least a few of them. Alright, and we are already on the hunt for another Chaos Emerald. This is Emerald number 6, and wow, what is this slowdown here? Hopefully that doesn't become too much of an issue. Yeah, this course is definitely a lot more uneven. There's a lot more gaps in the ground. Gotta be careful there. Ooh, that gave us a lot of rings. And yeah, the road's a lot more uneven here, so you definitely gotta be... That's bouncy, okay. And yeah, name of the game, of course, just building up your speed, grabbing rings, and just making sure you can get to the Chaos Emerald. Definitely focus on cutting corners as much as you can, because, again, that is the best way of dealing with these stages. And we're already at Mach 3, which is good. We should be able to catch up to the Chaos Emerald in no time. Feels good to be back into this game, because, yeah, it's definitely been a while since the last Sonic Mania stream. Not from a lack of trying, there's just been so much going on for me personally, and yeah, I've wanted to get back into this for quite a while. Because it's one of my favorite games, so of course I'd want to get back to playing it. Alright, we're steadily catching up to this emerald here. Just gotta be very careful. Ow. Oh, we lost so many rings there. Gotta be careful. Oh, this doesn't look good. We need rings so badly. No. Yeah, that special stage. I'm definitely out of practice on that one. It's definitely going to be a while before we can get Emerald number 6. I mean, hopefully I'm able to grab all the emeralds before the end of this playthrough today, because, yeah, if everything goes well, this should be the last session of the Sonic and Tails run of this game. Going back into Oil Ocean here, yeah, this was one of the later levels in Sonic 2, and it's definitely reflected a lot in the difficulty of this place. A few tricky enemies to deal with here. And, of course, the hazards can also be a bit of a meh. Okay, I was trying to do some fancy stuff there, but... But yeah, Oil Ocean! Also, in terms of theming, this is a very cool area in relation to things in the Sonic series, because back in the early days, one of the main themes with the Sonic series was, of course, the conflict between nature and technology and industry. And that's reflected on a lot here in Oil Ocean, where you got this area out in the ocean that's been turned into this oil refinery. Like, the ocean is all polluted now. Definitely get a lot of that classic Sonic theming from this area. And, oh managed to get to the hidden ring there. I was actually curious as to how you're supposed to get that. I didn't realize the thing was like right in there. Okay. Now that I have a bit more practice with this special stage, we should go at this a lot easier. Want to pick up the rings when we can, grab as many blue spheres as we're able to early on, and we should be golden here. But yeah, kind of back on Oil Ocean. Yeah, just interesting area. I don't hear too many people really talk about it positively, but it's always been an interesting area to me, especially with the series theming and the whole nature versus technology conflict that was especially present in the early stages of the series. I'll grab those later, maybe. Grab some of these. Ah, geez, one of my friends actually went live. Probably catch what he's doing sometime later. Who knows? Just mainly focusing on getting through this here. But yeah, if I'm able to get all the Chaos Emeralds before the end of this session, we'll be able to show off something very cool. And, alright, we're already catching up on this thing very easily. This is going much, much smoother than the last run. Uh-oh, almost out of rings. We grab those, and there we go! Chaos Emerald number 6. Though it looks more like an aquamarine, doesn't it? Alright, and I do know the location of another special ring much later on, so that's very good. We are very close to getting all the Chaos Emeralds. Although, yeah, you can expect the final special stage to be something. Another thing I really like about Oil Ocean, besides the whole being able to burn the oil, which is a very cool addition they made here, since you didn't have the fire shield in back in the original Sonic 2. Ooh. Also got those spiky hazards here, kind of annoying. But yeah, I just really love the music in this area. Just such a great theme. One thing about this theme that I really like is I think it works very well with, like, Arabian instrumentals. Like, I think a remix like that would be very cool. But anyway, we got ourselves another boss here. This handy little robot is just kind of not much trouble. He'll throw your wrench at you as a projectile. No, he'll use these valves to push you up, but as long as you're on these middle platforms, you really don't have to worry too much about this guy. Not tough at all. I believe he's actually based on one of the mid-bosses from Sonic and Knuckles. But again, I haven't really played that game too much, so... And one of these days I'll get a monitor from that thing. But yeah, things are definitely changing between the acts here. Act 2 of Oil Ocean Zone. So this stage is a lot more interesting compared to the previous one. Because the damage that he dealt to this place by beating that boss has resulted in this place is starting to come down, and along with that, there's a lot of smoke billowing everywhere. This stuff is toxic. If the smoke builds up too much, not only will you have a hard time seeing, but it will also sap away your rings. So definitely try to deal with that as best you can. Obviously, there are these levers that you can hit in the stage in order to get rid of the smog. And you also want to climb up these shafts of falling oil to navigate this place. So yeah, I know this isn't everyone's favorite stage in this game, but I do like it. Especially with the color palette. I just love the yellows and greens and purples. I think they mesh together very nicely. Of all the industrial stage in the Sonic series, I can definitely say this is one of my favorites, even if it's not a fan favorite. It's very nice able to get up there. It's got some nice rings and lives. Leave over here, there's something very good for us. But let's take another attempt at some blue spheres. I remember this one giving me a bit of trouble last time. Let's see if we can get this. Again, just a refresher of blue spheres. You're trying to get not only all the blue spheres in the stage, but you are also trying to get all of the rings. And trying to get all the rings and then the blue spheres can be quite challenging. Especially as you start building up speed in these areas. Definitely not my favorite aspect of this game, but they're still decent and challenges, all things considered. Okay, I'm trying to think about this. Alright. Okay, that should be pretty good. Still quite a few rings and spheres to get, but we should be doing pretty good. Sorry if I'm being silent right now, I'm just really trying to concentrate on this stage. Because that's what Blue Sphere does to you. Okay, we got all of those, we just need to focus on spheres. Nope. No! Okay, I choked there. I'll take full blame for that. Full custody on that. I just love the look of all the oil getting burned here. It's just such a fun little attention to detail about this area. Definitely reason to pick up the fire shield. Adds a lot to the scenery here. And of course you got these events here where you ride those cats. Okay, I want to be careful here. And you got these things that shoot you up into these spheres. All very classic parts of Sonic 2. Again, this was a game that I played a lot as a kid, so getting to re-experience some more bits of Sonic 2 in this game is always good. Even though it's not really represented too much in this game, they definitely lean more into Sonic 3 and Knuckles here in Mania, but still fine. We get bits of Sonic 1 and 2 here or there. Okay, things are getting very smoggy, so we're going to start losing health soon. Or we could take that. I'm just gonna ignore you. Alright, now this is an interesting set piece here. Partway through the level, you got a submarine, which you can actually go into. And we got ourselves just a little challenge here, just navigating through this area. There's goodies to grab, of course. That, and we are good. And of course, taking the submarine. Woo! Alright, I think I messed that up, actually. There's something up there I was supposed to launch up to. Things are getting smoggy here. Let's go into this submarine. We're actually pretty close to the end of this stage. Oil Ocean 2 is really not all that bad, despite the whole smog hazard here. Wow, could you not do that? We're almost out of here. Alright, let's grab that power ring. It's very good. Normally we would be close to another special ring, but yeah, I just forgot it. And got ourselves a boss fight. Eggman's riding a giant octopus robot. This boss is basically like an expanded version of the original boss from the original Oil Ocean zone. Like that claw tentacle and that turret are all taken out of Sonic 2, and then yeah, we're basically just dealing with Eggman when he comes up in the octopus robot. This is a decent boss, all things considered. Just watch when the platforms go down, launch into Eggman, and you're good. Ow. Oof, not good that I'm missing my rings here. Ow. Okay, that's definitely something that can happen. Ah, boy. Sorry, not too bad. Got you now, egghead. Probably don't need to move around too much here. I don't know, it's just kind of fun. Really don't need to attack the tentacles here. Just attacking the main body is all you need to do. Alright, thank you for grabbing that ring, Tails. Really appreciate that. Alright, we should be pretty close to the end of this fight here. Definitely one of the longer fights in this game. Alright, took out that tentacle. Come on, buddy, try to hit me. There we go. And that takes care of Oil Ocean. It's a shame there was that one special ring that I knew the location of, but I didn't get to, but it's alright. Hopefully we have a good time of finding the remaining special rings, because still quite a few stages to get through here. As close as we are to finishing up this game. Lava Reef Zone, returning from Sonic and Knuckles. This area is pretty great, also difficult. Of course, it wouldn't be a video game without the lava stage. And look at that, a returning enemy from Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2. Good stuff. Yeah, the stage isn't completely a recreation of Lava Reef. They do add a bit of Hilltop Zone in here, and I think that's a good decision. Definitely adds a lot to the stuff you do here. And a lot of different enemies here. Like those one centipede guys we saw that can shoot fire out of them. Those little rocket guys are interesting. They'll explode after a few seconds after they're activated, so you definitely want to watch out for them. And the stage, you also want to hit those switches to break certain walls and spin down those. Yeah, a lot of has in this stage between all the lava shooting and that thing. Like, I was able to grab that pretty easily. Definitely should be more of in an exploring mood here, because I definitely want to try to get the remaining special rings. That seemed like a good place to put a special ring. Come on, game. definitely watch out for that. Okay. Trying to think here. There's only a few more special stage locations, and yeah, let's try going up here. Oh, well, that's nice. Getting ourselves the Thunder Shield again. Which, of course, means more rings. I want to go upper or after. Oh, okay. Starting to remember some things here. Let's see. Yeah, I know I really don't have... I'm not talking a lot here, it's just that not that too familiar with Lava Reef outside of playing Mania, so... Wonder... Nope, that's a bad. I figured there might be something hidden down there. Yeah, I really didn't play too much of Sonic and Knuckles, so my knowledge of a Lava Reef outside of this game is very minimum. But it's still a nice area, I just love the overall aesthetic of this place. The music is just phenomenal. But hey, I can talk about Sonic music like all day. This franchise is just such wonderful music, and this stage especially. I'm thinking maybe... Okay, that's nice, but it's not a special stage now, is it? Whatever. We should be close to the boss, maybe? Yeah, a little farther, I think. Alright, guess we're trading one shield for another. Although Fire Shield's really good in this area, considering all the lava and fire hazards you'll have to deal with. So yeah, this is definitely a good trade. Woo! So, also those guys that you saw there, those little pole guys that build a smoke out of them. If you stay in that smoke, it basically acts like the oil ocean smog, and that will drain your rings as long as you're in it. So, yeah, definitely avoid those guys. And those guys, but, you know, at least I was able to grab another shield. And we got ourselves a boss here. So this guy, we cannot attack directly right now. What we're trying to do is just get him to lock on to certain positions of the floor in order to drill in and just get hit by the lava. So make sure he specifically hits the rocky floor so that he's able to get hit, and should be golden. Not if I damage like that. Despite those remind me quite a bit of a boss from the boss of, what is it? Ow. That's annoying. The boss of Mystic Cave Zone from Sonic 2, I was gonna say. Oh, would you look at that? We grabbed the shield from that. Woo! Nice! Now prepare for a great act transition. isn't that amazing? So now Lava Reef has changed a lot. We're now just in this very beautiful area. I love the lapis lazuli aesthetic of this whole area. It's just so beautiful. Ow. Knew there's a fire shield there I want to get. Well, I knew there was something up there. So yeah, Lava Reef Act 2, I really love this area. Just the overall aesthetic of this place, the music, which just continues to be stunning, and how it builds on the original theme. Yeah, it's still a very dangerous area, but I don't know, something about this whole aesthetic is just very calming to me. Makes me feel good. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything up there, and I'm too lazy to use Tails to check. There is the invincibility there, but I'm not gonna grab that. There's nothing up there for me? I guess not. Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, I'll grab Water Shield, why not? Or not. Yeah, as I said, a lot of hazards in this area. This is one of the later stages of the game, so they are not pulling any punches here. That's kind of a critique I often hear with the Sonic games, is that for all of its talk of being a series all about going fast, there are some parts where they require you to take your time and just when it comes to dealing with hazards and enemies, which I can get why people can be frustrated with that, but for me it doesn't bother me too much. I say that when I've dealt with so many instances of just getting blindsided by enemies because I'm moving so fast that I can't see them, but, you know, it's just the way things are here. Careful! That is cool. Yeah, let's do a blue sphere. Oh, good, this one. I suck at this one. Why couldn't I pick something else? Okay, that was something. I swear that was not intentional. Okay. Things go well. We should be good here. Sorry for lack of commentary right now, but this just requires all my concentration to get through. Alright, we got all the rings now, so just need to focus on survival. There we go! Oh boy, I was not good at this stage, but look at me now. Got ourselves the gold medallion for it. Good stuff. Let's go ride this thingy now. I don't know what this is, but it's cool. It totally owns these long neck guys. Forget the name of these guys, but, you know, something from Sonic 2, and you know how much I love that game. It's definitely a game I like to revisit sometime. Who knows, maybe I'll stream it someday. I know it's a very hard game, but I think I could pull it off, potentially. actually. There's something in the background there. Definitely want to keep them... definitely want to remember that for later. Gotta be careful here with these fire jets. Or not, because we got fire shield, baby! So what else could we talk about right now? Well, I guess I could... One thing I could say is that I have finally seen all of BoJack Horseman. I just got done Season 6, and... My god. Just the way they end things off is just so... Definitely melancholy would be the way I'd say it, but just such a great ending. But at the end of Lava Reef, look what we got. Another member of the hard-boiled heavies arrives. This is the Heavy Knight. Definitely want to be careful with those jets of fire there. This guy will be riding around on a motobug and just go around trying to nail you with this wrecking ball. Yeah, this is an interesting boss. Not one I'd really say is my favorite, but it is interesting with its theming here. It's basically just a stunt racer slash knight trying to beat you. And another thing I'd say about this guy that's kind of interesting, especially with the history of, like, of this game's history of being created by Sonic fan hackers, is that the motobug that the Heavy Knight is riding is actually a reference to a once beloved member of the Sonic hacking community who tragically passed away. Like, I believe the motobug was like his signature, but yeah. Still, it's an interesting concept for a fight. Not one of my favorites in this game, but still neat. Little Planet, the setting of Sonic CD, is just ahead. Now we move on to Metallic Madness, another Sonic CD stage. This is an interesting zone, I'll say that much. In fact, I could definitely say this is one of the hardest levels in this game. For a few reasons, mainly due to the types of enemies this area has. Like those beetle guys with the buzzsaws on their front. You can obviously tell that those will be annoying to deal with. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna avoid those entirely because they don't seem to lead to anything. Then we got these guys. Those bomb enemies are definitely annoying. And then we got these guys who just move spikes around. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the enemies in this area. They can be quite annoying. And that fly guy we can talk about later, but he's an asshole too. So yeah, the enemies in this area are definitely interesting hazards to say the least. But here's the main gimmick of Metallic Madness. We have these sections where we're actually going into the background. And we're able to traverse to areas that we couldn't normally get to before. It's an interesting thing. You don't often see that kind of stuff in these 2D games. But yeah, just getting to move between the foreground and the background is pretty interesting. Definitely one of the more, I want to say, less annoying aspects of this stage. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Metallic Madness is not my jam. I mean, the music is funky as all heck. Just listen to this. I'm just trying to be careful here because I am trying to also go after special rings, and I don't really know what the special rings are in this zone. I'm just trying to be careful. Then you got these small platforms that will spin and just... Sarah can be annoying, okay? I guess there's nothing for us over there. Is there anything over there? No. It's got these bombs to deal with. Yeah, see? Definitely not one of my favorite levels in this game. I mean, I'll definitely say that the foreground and background hopping is a cool gimmick. But yeah, something about the layouts and the enemies you find in this area just gets me. And I can't really find myself fully enjoying this area. But here's something that I do like, the boss of Act 1. So we have to face the final boss from the original Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just such a cool idea of bringing this final boss fight back. We have Eggman riding in these pillars that we just have to hit when he tries to come up, avoid getting crushed, and you are golden in this area. Also, avoid the energy spheres, obviously. But yeah, this is a good boss fight, all things considered. Ah, missed him that time. Of course, things are gonna get much more interesting as the progresses, because once we've dealt half damage to this guy, Pistons will be moving a lot more erratic here. Gotta be very careful not to get crushed, just keep hitting Eggman, and you're good. Alright. Almost got him. Just one more hit to do it. There we go. Act 1 of Metallic Madness. Not one of my favorite areas in this game, obviously. And now we move on to Act 2. Which I want to say is a little better than Act 1. Definitely got some interesting gimmicks in this area. Of course, we have to deal with the same enemies, so... there's that. Still got those annoying bombs to deal with. Still got these pistons. Buzzsaw guys. Ah, who am I kidding? This just... But speaking of background flipping, we got these sections here. Alright, that guy's down. And so are we. This way, I mean. Let's grab a shield, because that'll be useful in this area, obviously. Or I could lose it immediately. Thanks, game. I'm not in the mood for any... things. Oh, there was gonna be a gimmick there, but I guess we'll have to wait until a little bit later to show that off. Because there is an interesting gimmick in this area.
We become tiny, Sonic! I'm so cheesy!
Yep, hitting certain lasers in this area will cause Sonic to change from being big and small. Which makes getting for these areas interesting to say the least. We can go into smaller areas that we normally couldn't be able to access, and yeah, it's just fairly interesting, all things considered. I would not call this my favorite gimmick in this game, but it is interesting at least. I actually haven't played Sonic CD, so I'm not sure if these gimmicks are actually from that game, but, you know. Okay, you know what? Do that, buddy. Just got an extra life. Thank you. Yeah, Sonic CD's always just been kind of an enigma to me. Never played it, and yeah, don't really hear people say too many positive things about it, all things considered. And the game looks fun. And the whole good future, bad future aspect to it is very interesting, but I don't know. Alright, Tiny Sonic, let's do this. I can't be the only one getting Tiny Rick vibes from, like, these Tiny Sonic portions. I'm just like, I'm Tiny Sonic! I'll never die! You know, that, all good stuff. Boing. Okay, let's go this end. Why do I hold forward? It never helps. And playing some Tetris here. Just watch out for the platforms falling above, and you are golden. Come on, buddy. Alright, out of there. And got another Tiny Sonic portion. Definitely not hitting you, buddy. Should actually be close to the end here. There you go. And we got ourselves our boss of this area, while we're Tiny Sonic. Eggman installed a gachapon machine as the boss fight of this area. And basically hit the lever on Eggman's mech, and capsules will come out spawning different enemies that are actually based on different things from the Sonic series. Like we got these little Amy dolls here. Got these little Eggmans firing the Marble Zone boss. And of course we got the drill car from Sonic 2 here. Just really cool bringing all of these different Sonic bosses back in this stage. Really like the gachapon aspect of it. It's a fun little gimmick for this fight. And how do we deal the finishing blow? We get Eggman out of the machine. Yeah, that's a fun boss fight. I like it. I like the references it does. It's a good closer to this kind of a mixed bag of a zone. But at long last, our journey has led to this. Welcome to the final level, Titanic Monarch Zone. This area is difficult, it is long, and I love it. This is also the last of the original zones in this game. Yeah, go figure, there's only 4 entirely original levels, but, you know, for what they managed to accomplish, they're still very good acts, all things considered. And I definitely say they live up to some of my favorite in this series, so, you know. And we definitely have a lot to go through here in Titanic Monarch. As I said, this area is big. You definitely get the feel that this is the final area. And just, yeah, we got a lot to deal with here. And lots of interesting enemies. Like those guys with the engine's definitely something, and those light guys. Just kind of annoying. Hey buddy, what's going on? Ow. But yeah, the name of the game here is we are infiltrating the facility where Eggman is building his ultimate weapon, powered by the Phantom Ruby. So obviously put out all the stops for us with so many different hazards and robots to deal with. Definitely a good final area with what they're able to jam into here. And of course, just listen to that music, it's so good. Even brought back those pig enemies from Sonic 1 here, which is something. Never actually got that far into Sonic 1 because frickin' Labyrinth Zone is pain. I know I'm not really talking right now, but I'm mainly just concentrating on this area because it's tricky to deal with. So many hazards here, lots of enemies. And watch out for the electricity there. These electric spheres, I believe, are based on one of the mini games you can play in Sonic 3, and yeah, they're fairly cool. I do like using them to traverse the level. It's a very fun gimmick. Yeah, I'm just really trying to concentrate here because this area is so difficult. What can I say? There's a lot of hazards in this area. Alright, those drone guys are pretty interesting. You want to try to... If they lock onto you with their mines, you want to try to kill them or get as far away from them as you can in order to stop the mines. Otherwise, you'll have to deal with them for quite a while. But yeah, just overall, really like this zone. The theming of this area is great, how we're scaling this giant war mech that Eggman's been building all throughout this adventure. It's a really good time, a very good climactic finish to this adventure. Nah, I'm not interested in you, buddy. Alright, that's annoying. Definitely don't like losing my shields when I'm in these. I missed that extra life. I mean, I got 17 lives. We're definitely gonna be fine. The one thing I'm not too keen on is that we are close to the end here, and it was that one thing I was hoping we'd get, which sadly it looks like we're not going to, but don't worry, with the way things are going, we should be able to finish up this section of the game, and then we should be able to, after we deal with certain things, we can get back. What am I trying to say? We don't need the special thing I've been hyping up to finish the game, but it is very useful to get when we inevitably have to jump back in to show off the obvious things that I want to show. But I am really terrible at verbalizing this right now. Just know that we are not going to end things immediately after we deal with at the end of this act. Okay, I mean, the end of this zone, I mean. Okay, but we should be just at the end. Right here. And we got ourselves a returning boss from Sonic and Knuckles. So this was a boss from the Death Egg, which is pretty good. The zone from Sonic and Knuckles, basically just trying to hit the red eye at the center of the sky, avoid the spears, and also the spikes that they shoot out at you, and you are golden here. Alright, that takes care of that phase. Yep, it's not done yet. Ow. Okay, that's disappointing. Okay, that's embarrassing. So embarrassing. Okay. Sure, I'll just grab one ring. Yes, I wouldn't call this my favorite boss in this game. This guy is honestly kind of annoying with how many times he frickin' hits you, and yeah. I really don't want to be burning through my lives right now, because this is a long area, and I definitely don't want to get a game over and have to start back at the beginning of Act 1 of this guy. I'm gonna play this carefully. Alright, we're doing good. Should be close to the next phase. Alright, phase 2. So yeah, this phase is a little awkward as you're essentially riding this elevator while trying to fight this guy. And you tell that I'm not a fan of this boss. Buddy, let me get you here. Definitely not one of my favorite bosses. Shame, because I've been mostly positive about the boss fights in this game, but, you know. It's kind of the way things are here as you're getting into the final stretch. Now it's time to head on up to Act 2. Things are getting good here. We have now infiltrated the Titanic Monarch. And we're close to taking the fight to Eggman directly. Okay, that's annoying. Yeah, why do I bother sometimes? This final level is something. Definitely one of the biggest areas we got. And also the most open-ended areas we got to deal with. From this point onward, there are 4 paths we can take. And we're basically trying to get through these areas in order to unlock access to the end of the zone. This open aspect of this area is very interesting and definitely adds to the tension in this area. But definitely don't want to get lost down here because why am I sucking so much of this part? Oh, come on. Just give me a second to get my bearings back. Oh, come on! Alright, that's just cheap enemy placement right there. This part's not supposed to be this hard! There, I dealt with it. See, our goal here is to navigate 4 sections of the Titanic Monarch in order to unlock access to the final fight. And yeah, this place is something. It's a shame we couldn't get up there. Yeah, a lot of hazards in this area. Huge concentration of enemies. This... trying to stay here without getting utterly destroyed or just so irritated. This area is hard, okay? A lot of enemies, a lot of hazards, and it's a very big, very wide open area. Very easy to get turned around here. Alright, that's one section down. Let's head to this part. And I don't really care about going for Blue Sphere right now. I like that bumpy part. Yeah, our journey here during the Sonic Tales playthrough is steadily coming to a close. There is still some stuff to show off after we get through the quote-unquote final fight that ties into some stuff I've been, of course, mean to talk about, especially in regards to things that are both useful in game and for getting the full experience of our adventure. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And I know, it's just very good to get to revisit this game again, because it's one of my personal favorites, and it's always a good time when I get to play it. Right, hopefully we are able to finish this before time is up. Yeah, because that's something I don't think I've gone over during this playthrough. But this game, the timer up there is actually very important, because if you spend 10 minutes in a zone, you'll automatically lose a life. They weren't kidding when they say gotta go fast. Yeah, of all my complaints, though, I still really like Titanic Monarch. It's a good final area. Very challenging, but I do think overall the difficulty in this area is fair. It's not mind-numbingly difficult like some games tend to put their challenges. There, buddy. Ow, I really didn't want to get crushed. Come on. The sad part is, if I want to show off, like, everything I want to in today's stream, this isn't the only time I'm gonna have to go through this place today. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that eventually, trust me. Yeah, I'm also just not having a good time finding any special zones in this area, which is a shame. And it's not really that much of an issue, because we will be showing off the important thing I wanted to show very soon, once we get to it. That's what happened if those guys' mines actually managed to hit you. Very annoying. Come on, buddy. Kind of a shame that I've been having so much trouble in this area, because while I do feel this area is difficult, I do stay by my statement that it's a fair difficulty. Oh, come on! No, I really should not be getting this set right now, especially given what's... I'm starting to take back things here, cause, yeah, not a big fan of those pig enemies. They are definitely annoying. And also these wasp guys with the mines they place. Blech. I know, it's the small things that are just really sucking all the fun from this. It's a shame, because I love this game. It's just there are aspects of it that I don't feel are 110% all there. I just take you out, buddy, so you're not a hindrance to me. Okay, buddy, can we please not suck here? Apparently, that is irrelevant because sucking will happen. I'm not gonna get the big thing, it's just not worth it right now. Should be close to the end here. Wait, what hit me there? I don't know. We're almost done with the Monarch, just one more section to get through, and then we'll be ready to take on the final fight. Or is it the final fight? Now we'll see. Hey buddy, can you give me a lift? Alright, could you just GTFO? Alright, take me for another ride, buddy. Alright, that is the last section of the Titanic Monarch to deal with. It's time for the quote-unquote final battle. Here we have Dr. Eggman harnessing the power of the Phantom Ruby. Starting off, Eggman will have a shield equipped, and definitely don't want that to happen. You'll lower the shield, and the tendrils supporting him will spark with electricity. Wait for them to go, and strike the shield. You'll also start firing missiles at you that you definitely want to avoid sometimes. And then partway for the fight, he will spawn these illusion hands, which send you to these sections where you have to deal with the hard-boiled heavies again. Well, these guys have definitely changed physically from their last appearance. Once you dealt with them, you'll be back in the main fight. Yeah, this is an interesting battle, all things considered. I mean, it does require a bit of waiting around, which I know how much Sonic fans just love having to wait for things. I think... Alright, that was not good. Alright. Yeah, missed our opportunity there. Another one to deal with. Yeah, challenges here are interesting to say the least. You always fight the hard-boiled heavies in a set order. Could I please get a ring back? No. It's not too bad. The final fight here really isn't that tough. It's just a little annoying to have to deal with all this, especially because... Who am I kidding? There's so much waiting! Come on, buddy, just finish up your intro animation. Yeah, I really don't know how I feel about this being the final battle, considering just how much slower the pace is compared to the other boss fights in this adventure. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of tank that hit there. Get some damage in on him. And we've already blown off one of his tentacles. We're trying to deal damage to all of them. Okay. What's nice about the hard-boiled heavy phases is that you do get to refill your rings, which is good. Let's get some hits in on him there. Very good. Avoid the missiles. Oh, this is beautiful. We're able to get some good hits on him there. Alright, we're already halfway done this fight. Come on, buddy. Alright, we've got Shinobi to deal with. So where you going? Ow. Come on. Alright. The hardball heavy phases do end after a while, but it's kind of annoying to have to deal with that. Come on, buddy. Alright, got another hard-boiled phase here. This time we got Magician. What's this? Oh, come on, buddy. Thought I had that one. Alright, this is good. Ow! Stupid. Alright, at least Tails got the ring for us, and we're almost done. Missiles, and... this should be it. Alright, one more bit. This should be Heavy Knight we deal with now. Oh yeah, this sequence. So we got a race against the Heavy Knight. His Moto Bug has been upgraded into a frickin' Moto Cycle. Phase does remind me a lot of the Metal Sonic battle from Sonic CD. Interesting. But yeah, Eggman's really not much of a threat at this point. We get the final hit on him, and there we go. Game beat. Or is it? Hey Knuckles, where have you been this whole game? And with that, we have stopped Dr. Eggman's plans for the time being. So yeah, that was the Sonic and Tails portion of Sonic Mania. Yeah, spoiler alert, we are not done this game quite yet. There's still a lot to cover with this. But yeah, for the main campaign here, this is just overall a very solid Sonic game. They definitely pulled all the stops of bringing in so much from the classic Genesis era games, and it really shows here. Just the attention to detail in the level design, the enemies selected, all the different challenges. Like, you've heard me gush about how good the special stages are, and as well as so many of the other levels in this game. Like, it's a great time they were able to pour so much love back into this series. Because, yeah, for the most part, Sonic the Hedgehog is kind of a weird series where it has periods of good games, and then it gets periods of just bad games where you wonder, like, when is it going to get good again? Sonic Mania, I definitely feel, is in the good game department. Just like, I've been gushing so much about this adventure and just what these very talented people were able to do. So many people who got their start doing Sonic fan games actually got hired on to do an official project, and that is just fantastic. And of course, Dyson Hess as like the main director for the animated segments, just fantastic. I've already gushed so much about such a talented animator he is, and getting to see so many of his different works with the Sonic series, especially because of this game. Just, it's fantastic. And of course, all the original stages and concepts they were able to pour into this game as well are very good, even though the new stages are definitely lower than the returning stages in terms of quantity. I feel like the quality is very good. Studiopolis is one of my favorite areas in all of Sonic. Press Garden was a fantastic area. Mirage Saloon, it was good, and Titanic Monarch definitely has the feel of a good final area. Just overall, this is a very solid game. One that I feel is definitely worth picking up, especially if you're a longtime Sonic fan. And hey, even if you aren't, this might be a good way to introduce you to the Blue Blur. Like, as difficult as some of the challenges are in this game, I feel it's readily accessible, and you're able to get your bearings pretty good here, and just kind of figure things out for yourself on how to play these classic stages and whatnot. And yeah, as a longtime Sonic fan, I just absolutely adore this game. All the attention to detail put into it, all the remastered stages and music, and all the new concepts introduced into it, it's just such a good time. But yeah, our adventure is nowhere near done. As of course, we only have 6 of the Chaos Emeralds, and if we get the 7th one, there's something very good we were able to obtain, so... What the hell, we've only been at this for an hour and 15 minutes. I feel like taking another crack at this file would be a good idea. In order to show off the thing I've been hyping up for so long, and also to show off another thing that happens when you actually manage to get the Chaos Emeralds, because things don't normally end at Titanic Monarch here. If you're playing as Sonic, there is one extra thing you're able to access after beating the Titanic Monarch Act 2 boss, which you can only obtain after you get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, which we will be doing very soon. For now, let's just let this fantastic music play, and we'll be jumping right back into the adventure very soon. Stop taunting me, Eggman! Yep, that is your clue. We are not quite done with the adventure yet. But by clearing the story one time, we are now able to start ourselves off at whatever act we want. And just because I readily know where one of these... Because I readily know where one of these zones are, let's head back into Oil Ocean. Because it's time to hunt for the 7th Chaos Emerald and hopefully get to show off the final main part of this adventure. Straight down here. Ride the propellers up. And the special stage. Special stage 7, just look at this. It looks so amazing. Yeah, this area is hard. There is a lot of split paths here, a lot of pits that you can easily fall into. It's definitely a challenge to get through this area. Luckily, we're already at Mach 2, which gives us a very good ace already at getting to this emerald. But yeah, this is a tricky stage. So many gaps, so many hazards. We're probably gonna be at this one for a while if we're unable to get the emerald in this go-around. Actually, it shouldn't be too bad, all things considered, if we were able to just cut corners at Mach 2. We're already very close to this thing. Oh yeah, we got this. This is not tricky at all. Alright, I guess I'll just... And of course we get an achievement for that. Now Sonic can be Super Sonic. So getting all the Chaos Emeralds itself is a pretty good achievement, all things considered. Makes you feel very good about yourself for that. But this also affects gameplay. So right now, our main focus is just to get through the stage and collect as many rings as we can get along the way. This actually should be enough here. Oh, just barely. Okay. Nice. The next ring we get will be very important here. Alright, so once we have all the Chaos Emeralds and at least 50 rings, if I can get on the solid ground here, which would be nice. Once you have all 7 Chaos Emeralds and at least 50 rings, you're able to become Super Sonic. This golden-haired Super Saiyan wannabe is pretty darn awesome. You basically have invincibility, you go at super speed, and just the music here is fantastic, just gets the adrenaline pumping. So yeah, this is your reward for going out of your way to get all the Chaos Emeralds. Just access to this amazing super form that allows you to blaze through stages as fast as you can, and just completely dominates everything. Look how fast we're able to deal with this guy now that we have invincibility and the extra speed. Yeah, that is just fantastic. Of course, the downside to this mode is that as long as you're in super mode, your rings will start to drain, and once you get to 0 rings, you'll be kicked out of super mode. Along with that, super mode is not immune to crush damage, so definitely be aware of that. But with that, now that we have all 7 Chaos Emeralds, it's time to return to the Titanic Monarch. Unfortunately, we do have to go through both zones again, but I feel it is worth it to show off everything that we are able to do in this playthrough. So even if it means going through this absolutely brutal area again, it is very much worth our time, because man, if you thought things were difficult before, just wait for what's ahead. Obviously, I'd like to have a little bit more lives than what we have right now, but we should be good at things considered. We should definitely be able to pick up more rings as we go along, which is... yeah. So yeah, having Supersonic is very good. So going into a bit of a history with Supersonic, in the original Sonic the Hedgehog, there was no super mode. The maximum number of Chaos Emeralds you can get in that game is 6, and you basically only collect them in order to get a slightly nicer ending to the game. In Sonic the Hedgehog 2, however, they added a 7th Chaos Emerald, as well as Supersonic. As we all know him, very fast, very powerful, just a fantastic bonus for clearing everything. So once we're able to get into solid ground, we can actually go back into super mode here. Ow! Okay, that's on me because I forgot where the Y button is on this freaking controller. And yeah, we know how much I I really don't like the enemies in this area. I'm sorry. I love this game, but goddamn, things can be annoying about it. Just hope I can actually show off some more of super mode before the end of this area. Kind of going back into Titanic Monarch itself, this area, in terms of aesthetics, it's very similar to a cross between Scrap Brain Zone and Metropolis Zone, as well as having bits of Death Egg Zone in it as well. Overall, just very cool aesthetically. Just I love the overall red and gold motif to everything. I said before, it's a great area for the final section of this game. It's just that there are so many parts that frustrate me about things here. We are very close now. Okay. There we go. Supersonic. Let's blast through. Hey, buddy. Bye. It just feels so good to be blasting through enemies now that we have the invincibility. As I said, a lot of these enemies can be very tricky, but just being able to blast through them whenever we want, it just feels so good. We do have to worry about crush damage in this stage, but it's really not that much of an issue, all things considered. I mean, we still have plenty of lives. Definitely more than equipped for the fight ahead. In more ways than one, because, yeah, there's definitely quite a few challenges ahead. Wow, invincibility and super. That's just overkill. Come on, buddy. So what's some other stuff I can talk about just while I am blazing through Titanic Monarch? One thing that's kind of interesting to me personally is that, so of course I'm subscribed to a channel called SnapCube, which the frickin' host of that, Penny, she is just a fantastic content creator. I love her stuff so much. You may know her as the person behind the Sonic fandoms. Of course, that was how I was introduced to her as well. But very recently, she was doing streams about a Nickelodeon kart racer game. It's fairly interesting to me because I really love a lot of Nickelodeon shows, and actually getting to watch her play through that game is fairly interesting for me in a nostalgic point of view. But man, just her and her friends just losing their minds at some of the challenges in that game. It's been just some of the funniest stuff I have seen all year. It's fantastic. See, I was just getting so much of a kick off watching her just lose her mind at this game. Because, yeah, I have played my fair share of racing games from time to time, but man, the things that she had to put up with was just intense. Okay, can we not do that, buddy? It's definitely be an area where it'd be good to go super, considering all the hazards that we've dealt with here before. I remember this section, definitely. Alright, we are super. We should be having a relatively good time here. Or we could just jump into this. Also, yeah, just to show off, there is no supersonic in these stages. And I was not expecting to just get launched into one of these right off the bat, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, are there those content creators that you usually like to see just completely lose their minds playing certain things? Because there's definitely quite a few things I can get a kick out of watching. Like, I mean, I've been subscribed to Game Grumps for so many years, and just seeing them lose their minds over things is very entertaining, all things considered. I actually don't think I have played this special stage yet, which is interesting. If we can get through this with relatively no issues. We're not too far off here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I just flubbed that. Once I have more practice in these kind of things, we'll be much better off. Let's get on solid ground so I can go super again. Buddy, are we about done with this? Really? Hey, buddy. Do want to be careful in these sections because there are those parts where you can get crushed, and definitely don't want to get it crushed as super. There's nothing more demoralizing than dying when you have your super power form. Nothing worse than that. But we are done that section. So on to the other ones. Luckily, as long as we're able to pick up rings around here, we should be more than good. I'm just kind of thinking of whatever I can talk about right now, because, yeah. I guess I could say for the time being, streams should be pretty good for the foreseeable future. Got a few days off next week that should give me ample time to get into more content, both for my Emerald streams, as well as for more Sonic, because there's still quite a few things to show off in this adventure that we aren't able to show in just the regular Sonic and Tails mode. But you know, we'll be getting to that when we get to it, as I always say. Which is very special because stuff ahead is going to be very interesting, especially because it's content that I actually haven't played. But I'm very excited to actually get to show off on stream, because there's definitely some stuff to talk about, especially with some Sonic history. Ow! See what I said there about how demoralizing it is to die in your super mode. So I was trying to be so careful there, because I know it's an easy spot to get crushed, but yeah. That's the way the chili dog crumbles. Hey, luck, we should be near the end of this area. Oh, this guy. I remember you. Oh, come on. Super demoralizing. Again, super demoralizing. With any luck, we should be close to the end here. Still don't know what damages me at that part sometimes. Can we actually get a chance to go super again? So I would really like to have a lot of... Man, the final fight is going to be interesting from having this much bad luck in Titanic Monarch. Seriously, don't usually have this much trouble for this place. I know it's hard, but Jesus! Tails, you know what shit's going on here? Alright, at the very least, there's a good supply of rings in this area. Hopefully we're able to access our super mode again before the next boss. Just mainly trying to focus on collecting rings right now. Okay, depending on how things go, this could be it. Oh yeah, we're not gonna have enough rings to go back into super mode. Hey. Well, depending on how things go with like the hard-boiled heavy sections, we could be able to get enough rings, we'll see. But yeah, back into the quote-unquote final boss here. Come on, Eggman, show me what you got. Electricity drop. On the missiles. And here come the hands. Grab me, buddy. That's a 2-for-1 deal for you, buddy. Oh, we're one ring short. So demoralizing. One ring short. Talk about demoralizing, but it's fine. We don't really need our super form for this fight. As much as I would really like to be Super Sonic here, just to totally crash Eggman. Okay, can I just... So demoralizing. Screw you, Eggman, and screw your robots. I will say I like this boss theme. It's very ominous and definitely fitting for the battle here. Come on, buddy. Lower your shield already. Got some good hits in there. Missiles fall. Ow. Alright, got some good hits in there. Alright, come on, buddy. Hello there, copper. Alright, come on, grab me. I don't know if there's any way to avoid the hand phase, just something you gotta deal with, I guess. Alright, come on, Shinobi. Look at that. That's not good. We're out of rings there. Ugh. It's not what I like to see. Yeah, come on, egg face. Ooh, nice hit there, Tails. Alright, next phase. We got Magician to deal with. There we go. Sadly couldn't get any rings there, but should be fairly good. Alright. Okay, we have one more phase with the hands, and then we got this. And again, we got Knight to deal with. Alright, we got rings, which is good. No. Alright, we got our rings. Alright, Eggman. At least one more hit to deal to you, and then we are done with this. Come on. There we go. But it seems like the Phantom Ruby is not finished with us. Oh, hey, guy, I haven't seen you whole game. Finally, the Phantom Ruby is mine. You treacherous machine! How dare you betray your master! I have no master now. Welcome to Egg Reverie, the final stage of our adventure. Got ourselves quite a fight here. Our goal is to stop both Eggman and the Heavy King from using the Phantom Ruby. And for that, we just gotta ram into them while we're supersonic, flying around here. Gather as many rings as you can, because, yeah, this phase can hurt. If your rings run out, it's instant death. And unfortunately, I have been kind of wasting my rings on the super dash there. Yeah, this fight is interesting to say the least. Yeah, I would not recommend using the... Ow. Would not recommend using the super dash because it just eats up your rings, like, so bad. Yeah, name of the game is just trying to beat Eggman and the Heavy King here. And goddamn, the music here is so good. Yeah, name of the game here is just fly around, gather rings, strike Eggman and the Heavy King whenever you can, and you should be good. But yeah, one of Eggman's creations turning on him. Haven't seen that in the series before. Well, I don't know, this fight is still just such a cool concept. Getting a fight against both Eggman and one of his creations while trying to stop this incredible power source. It's good stuff. It's a good little final challenge of this run. And this fight is exclusive to Sonic if you're able to get all the Chaos Emeralds. Playing as any other playable characters will not unlock this fight. You have to be Sonic for this. Which is actually important because it does tie into the story of another game. We'll get to that eventually. A touch I really like about this battle is that if you look at the timer, it's just completely spazzing out. Like, it doesn't know what to do. Which I guess is very fitting with the Phantom Ruby just completely messing with time and dimensions and stuff. It's very fitting for this final area. And besides, the only real time limit you need to worry about is with your ring. So it's fitting that you don't have to worry about the main timer. Alright, it's pretty good there. But again, this battle can be a little awkward. Some of the hits from this guy. Alright, good hit there. It's got Eggman to deal with again. Then I think we got one more phase with Heavy King, and then we should be done. Okay, no, I think we got one more phase with these guys. Just being very careful to gather rings right now. Ah, jeez. Yeah, this is definitely a hard fight, all things considered. Just trying to manage your rings while taking these guys can be challenging, especially when you're flying so quickly. It is a cool fight, I will not deny that. It's just a little awkward, as some of the supersonic battles in the series tend to go, especially the 2D ones. Eggman, how's it going? Right. Just trying to be very careful here. But yeah, overall, just a very cool idea for a fight, having to tussle with both Eggman and one of his creations for control of the Phantom Ruby. No, it hasn't really been discussed at all in this game, but it's heavily implied that the Phantom Ruby itself is sentient and kind of pulling the strings along in this adventure, which is definitely something, especially with what gets talked about in future games, because this isn't the only time that the Phantom Ruby appears in the series, and unfortunately, this game is tied very closely with another game that's not as celebrated, let's just say, as Sonic Mania. We'll get to that eventually, because I don't know if I'm actually going to cover it eventually on screen, but we'll see. And see, this fight's just so awkward to deal with. Why am I having so much trouble against this guy? But I would like to get this boss fight done before the end of things, because we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Honestly, was not expecting things to take this long here. As long as I grab as many rings I can, avoid using the light dash, we should be good. Come on, buddy, just cut it out. Goes without saying, the music here is fantastic. I love this song so much. It goes without saying, this whole soundtrack of this game is just fantastic, with all the covers of classic songs it does, and all the new songs that were introduced. Courtesy of T. Lopes, just a fantastic composer he is. I think we are coming down to the end here. Not again. This is just very awkward. It's kind of a shame I'm ending this playthrough on just such a sour note here, just with all these dabs. I don't want it to end like this. I really love this game. I don't want it to have to end on just such an awkward, sour note. That, buddy. Buddy, could you just cut it out? Where even are you right now? Alright, kindly GTFO. Might be good to stick to the ground, actually. I don't know. Maybe when dealing with King, I could stay to the ground. I know, this guy's just kind of awkward to deal with. Yeah, I think staying low for the King and high for Eggman would be a good strategy here. Still an awkward fight because you have to deal, you know, the typical 8 hits per boss, but you got 2 bosses to deal with here, so just finding enough time to deal with everything can be a hassle. Hey, buddy. Yeah, we are steadily running out of health here. Come on. Oh, there goes Eggman. So we just got to deal with the King, and we are golden. There we go. And with that, we have stopped Eggman and the Heavy King. But it seems the Phantom Ruby is not quite done with us. I don't know about you, but that ending seems kind of forced. And yep, that's everything I wanted to cover in the Sonic/Tails playthrough. Pretty good thing, all things considered. I just can't get enough of this game. I love it so dearly, and excited to play more of it when I am off hours. But next time we return to Sonic Mania, we're gonna be rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. See you next time when we take on the adventures of Knuckles the Echidna and see what he was up to while Sonic and Tails were dealing with Eggman. Until next time, have a good night and take care.